Alright, going again. This is going to be part 6 of the Redstone guide, the comparator guide I'm doing. We got Netherite level stuff. We're at position 171, negative 171, and that's on the z-axis if you look up there. And hopefully we can get at least to the red. We go all the way up to 700, but luckily the machines get bigger as we go. So, I guess since I kind of teased out the whole binary to analog and analog to binary upgrades, we'll start there. So this is the smallest one I could think of. We have the input, it's set at 7 right now. The first block is 8, 4, and then 2 representing the numbers. So what it's going to do first is check if it can pass an 8, and if it can, it's going to turn on this circuit by releasing the redstone in there that keeps it off, and that's going to cause the 8 to be subtracted from our line. So it's going to check, and if it can, it will subtract. So you can also use this singular circuit to check and subtract any number you want. I'll give a quick overview of it, but it's pretty much repeated over and over again. So the next one's going to be 4, where it checks through 4, and if it can pass 4, then it will subtract the 4 from the number you got. So as you can see, the same, and then the end of this is going to be the 1. So if you have a signal going through that cannot be subtracted by this, that's your 1. Any odd number is going to have 1. So we have 7 right now. Now we have 6. So 1 is turned off. 2 and 4 are turned on. We're taking the signal from those from when they subtract. So you see the subtraction happening, but as the subtraction is happening, we take that signal from the subtraction off to show that it happened. Going all the way up to 15. All of them are on. 14, the last one turns off. 12, 9, so that's 8 plus 1. So there's the analog to binary, and we're going to get binary to analog. So we got them all listed there, what we need. All these are the subtractions, and so I have a pot representing 8 right there, and the lever right now is put to turn off the redstone torch, but if it's a signal, you just have to time it to where they all pop in there at the same time, and you just send your signal in from your binary. So then you have 10, 8 plus 2, 11. So the whole circuit's just this right here. You don't need the light on top. You don't need the switches, because that's going to be your input for your binary switching over to analog. And you don't need the lights, because this is where it's coming out. This is your node for bringing your analog signal out to wherever you need it. So this green block just represents what you're putting it into. It could be straight into this redstone puddle, or it could be another comparator, however you're doing this. And I'll have an overview. I have bookshelves representing 8, oh no, not 8, sorry, 4, 2, and 1. Because they got the slots in them. I also have the pot at 8 because bookshelves don't go as high. But I'm going to usually be using pots at some point. It's just pots and bookshelves are kind of set in their redstone, as opposed to books that would be a little static and jump around a little bit and cause lag, I guess. Alright, so well, I guess we can look at how I'm doing those screens first, because you're probably kind of curious. It's really small, and it's used by getting the signal strength. Oh, I got this special binary book in here. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Like, here's 9 right here. And if we have 9 labeled, then it will go through, because we have right here a node that tests for this specific number. So if you're going through, we have 9, and then it's -1, then -7. So whatever signal it is, that's a total of -8. So that gives you 1 signal to go through here, and that's 9. If you had 2 signal going through here, so if you had 10, this would shut off. Then to get to 14 from 9, you need 5 more. So that'll give 1 extra signal. It'll actually be at signal 15 when that happens. We have a shut off, so if you shut it off, this torch turns on, which also turns the slide on. And that's how each of these layers are put, so it controls one of these levels. So they're coming back into these. But we'll get into that later. We have a whole section a little bit right there when we're doing actual displays, and that's really bulky. We got a better design for that. Alright, so we did binary to analog, analog to binary. Now this is a fun one. We have averages. So if you had 2 numbers, say you had the average of 5, and way down here, sorry, average of 8, it'd be about something, but we got 6.5 here. And how that works is, didn't I have a smaller one of these? Adios, man. Okay. So this comes in, and oh yeah, it's test against each other. So it shows the difference of the 2 numbers. We've done this circuit before. So it's the difference between 2 different numbers, and the difference is subtracted from the higher number. You get the higher number from, so both these signals are being subtracted from 15. So you check for the lower signal, and the lower signal gets subtracted from 15, which inverts it again. And then a lot of confusing things are happening right here. So the difference is then, oh goodness, how did I do this? Let's see. Alright, so it's cut in half. That's how this upside is working. This was one of the new projects that I was doing, and it just got out of hand. Sometimes I'll start building something and just keep forcing it to work until it does. So you have 2 here coming in. Then you have our, I guess how we did the binary. It's dividing, or it's checking by 2 and dividing by 2. And that signal is from this bottom right here. This bottom right here is the difference between the 2 numbers. So you're dividing the difference between the 2 numbers by 2. And then the top is getting the lower of the 2 numbers, and then it's adding the difference to the lower of the 2 numbers. But the difference is, yeah, it's divided by 2. Oh goodness. And then the light turns on if there's a remainder from the division of 2. So an even, like if you had 2 even numbers or 2 odd numbers, the average would be a whole number. But if you had an odd and an even number, then the average would be an improper fraction. Sorry. Man, some of these are just nuts. Okay, sorry. So now we got, we're gonna work on 3D and 2D plotting. So right now I'm looking at a router. It's kind of an expanded router. So we're at the second. So it goes 1, 2, repeat, 2, 3, repeat, 3, 4. So since we're on the second node right here, that releases the red to be able to send signal. And we'll pop one of these on. So you can change which signal the red is allowed to put out. The red is of course going to have a signal strength, but we have a router on a router, which here is some things you can hook up to it so we can kind of see what I'm trying to do with it. It's set to the 3rd row, so 1, 2, 3, so that guy's on. And then this red is set to 3, and we have a check to see if 3 is the right signal strength to unlock this, and this is storing information in these books. Well, these books sent memory into here, which is being displayed here. So I can reset what numbers I have stored in here, like a directory. But if I were to change red to 2, then the lights won't turn on, the information isn't displayed. So we could bring it back down to node 2. So the red is activated here, and it is putting out 2. And that's right there. So we got this. So now we're going to move to here. This is another router that we saw in one of our earlier videos. I have them stacked against each other so they won't interfere with each other. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the shutoffs, and these are just the little nodes. I have the target blocks here. It flickers like the light bulb, like I've described before, but this is fine. We'll fix that later in another video, but just to get the point across, let's bring ourselves all the way up there. Alright, so we got row 10, signal strength, we're going to bring it up to 6. So we're activated here, we're brought up there, and yep. So behind here is the node that's powering here. This is because this block is being powered right behind it. But you could also use this to point out which light to turn on, like if you have a control panel for a whole bunch of different things, like lava flowing from the ceiling or something. You could put in certain signal strengths to route signals through all these. But it takes 2 lines to get to here to control 2 dimensions. And we'll show 3 dimensions in a little bit. So we got that was really hard. So we're gonna go a little more intuitive for how redstone moves, and we'll see how what we're doing with that. So from this switch we have 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it won't hit here. Which switch was that? Like that one. So as you move this way, your signal strength doesn't reach as far over here. It can't reach here. So it becomes like a little bubble. And you can see it's more red as you get closer to the switch flipped. Like it becomes darker as you go farther from it. I don't have the number thing on there, but I know that there's an add-on or a mod where it shows the numbers 15, 14, 13, all that. I do a lot of calculators, and I don't know how much lag that would cause. Yeah, because they just go so fast. So when you're looking at how these light up and how those don't, you can see that like this would be at 13, 15, 14, 13. So having that here, you can take the exact highest amount of signal strength from wherever you're coming. So if you're here, this will be 15, 14, 13, and then it'll get sucked out. But if you're like over here, 15, 14, 13, 12, this signal strength won't go over this one, so it's not going to interfere with it. So this will actually show one number by standing on any of these blocks as close as you get to, or I'll just start stepping on it and show you. So here, looks like some weird numbers, but we'll explain what that is. We had to number the numbers past 10, so this is base 16. I had to add an extra few numbers on there. That'll be in one of the next videos, but we'll move over here. That way it's a little more. So we got 4, 6 here. And what it's talking about is the distance from the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Coming all the way over here. Oh gosh. Put a railing on this thing. This is at 1, 1 because it's the maximum distance while still giving signal strength from the end. And below this is just a whole bunch of redstone. That's all it is. Oh man. Oh goodness. Just gets worse. There we go. What is going on? Oh goodness. Alright, so nothing's being pressed. That's a 0. So you can set certain numbers if, like, you know, you want to have a combo lock in a big old panel. Oh man. Anyway, so that's that. Now let's get to this. So what I'm doing here is all this spaghetti nonsense. And I call it spaghetti nonsense because it's turning your analog into binary. And the analog is being sent into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections. So this is going to be 1, 2, 4, and 8 in binary, how it's being controlled. If you look here, this blue, you'll probably notice that it is our analog to binary circuit, with this being 8 and so on. We got signal strength coming in for all the different lines. And then we have this one right here. This is this guy flipped sideways, so 8 and all that. It has a little pathway down to the next level and everything to try to keep it straight. I just wanted 5 by 5. So this one right here actually has this and this 4 block are both 1, and then it goes 2, 4, 8. So we can try it out. Top one, if we bring it to 3, it'll pop open both those. 5. So see, 1, 2, 4, 8. So 4 plus 1 is 5. And that's how I have the display going. If you wanted to see the front, all I'm doing is bringing each line in, and that'll hit here and here for 2 torches that also power the blocks above it, which will power a 4 square. So that's the easy part. The hard part is all the stuff connected to it. Alright, and then Here we have an upgrade. This is the addition unit, the binary and pretty much just everything. You can switch the base number from 1 to 16. There's all the circuits that I was talking about. I got a whole bunch of signs here. So we got like the number here for your base. You have right here is the shutoff for base 16. So here comes a base. The shutoff is right here where it tells it to subtract 1 from the yellow, which is something we saw before. We got addition over here. We got carryover coming this way. We have the 15 minus A with the check, C for signal, then subtract. So once it checks the signal from, what is it, C? Do I have it labeled here? I usually do B. Oh well. Anyway, once it checks the signal, then it subtracts the signal, and then you got 15 minus the 15 subtracted by the A plus the B. Here's the sum check, the one that we showed in an earlier video. Here's the base check shut off at sum 15 at base 16. There's all the carryover that you would get all added together. Of course, we only have 1 because it's 1 level, but here's the, what is it, 15 minus 14? Or no. Here, 15's coming in, and then it's 15 here minus 14 is 1, and then 15 minus 1 as you go up. And that's how to collect all the carryovers. It's a tally machine right there. And yeah, the carryover is controlled by a few different things. You got carryover if this is on. You have carryover if the green is not on. But then, oh goodness, there's so many different parts of this. No signal from C. A is 15. I think I mean B here. So that's the blue. So if there's no signal from blue and A is 15 and base 16 is what you're working in, because you shouldn't be adding the base number unless it's the next digit. So if you're at base 16, 15 is the highest you should go before you just say 10 or 1610 or whatever you want to call it. And then we got base 15 and under, signal 15 not possible, like I was just talking about. So you have the green coming in to or if there's a signal from green, then it turns off the no signal from B scenario, because A should never be 15. A lot of compounded logic in this thing. We gotta check for C at A15 right here. That's where the blue comes in. Here's our blue switch right here. That's our where the signal's coming into the whole thing for blue. Got yellow coming in here. Like I said, green coming in here. So right now we have the base number shut off. We don't have any lights. Again, turn on A15. That'll show all 15. And that shows that this is shut off here. The check and subtract, which turns this guy on. which shoots that over there. But if you notice that this guy's still on, and it does continue to be on because this isn't being shut off, and this isn't being shut off because this guy's on. It's a mess. So then let's add 15. So we'll turn blue on. So 15 plus 15, base 16 is 14 plus a carryover at 16, which is 30. So if we were to come down to like 9 plus 15 would be 8 plus 16 carryover. And to make it less confusing, let's turn on the base number at 10. And we'll do 9 plus, this is probably broken because of the blue. I'll do 9 plus 9. So that'd be 18. So you have 8 here with the carryover. So if you had 3 plus 4 is 7 without, oh no, why is the carryover on? Following it back. Okay, hold on a second. Oh goodness, did I ever fix that? I hope I did. Oh, the carryover is it just created a circuit because it's been on. So if I pop this off, oh, why is it still carrying over then? Oh, it's always going to say it's carrying over because, where did I put it? I have this way too close to this. So what I would need to do here is pop that, put a block, and a repeater. That fixes that problem. Because, yeah, the signal is coming into this block and it's bringing it down. Little lesson in basic stuff. Oh, goodness. This is a display. This isn't how I really built the thing, but there you go. 7. Okay, so we did our displays. I'm going to do one last thing that I planned here. We'll do this guy right here. We'll finish whatever that's supposed to say next video. Here I have a thing that lights up if you don't have repeating numbers. So right now the only numbers that don't repeat are 5, 4, and 3 in this. And over here we have 3, 4, and 5 lit up. So this is going to be a circuit for a Sudoku board, because if you put the same number in like a line or a square of boxes, then you're not completing the puzzle correctly. So if you have one of these guys for each box and then for each row running the lines, it'd be a lot of lines going through, but it would be fun to complete and be able to have a working Sudoku. So Let's say if we were to bring this to up to 8, then we'd have 3, 4, 5, and 8 lit up. How this is working is it's coming through and it's just counting nodes. So you got 1, 2, repeat, 2, 3. It's checking which node it's at, and then it's sending a signal down 15 minus each number that you send. So we got our fun little back and forth downward signal strength. So this isn't going to, they're facing each other, so it's not going to cause a infinite circuit or power loop or whatever you want to call it. So all the signals will go down and it'll be subtracted as it goes down. And if there is more than one, I have it set so it'll turn off. And then we have 15 minus whatever it is. So you collect them all from up here. So 15 minus a number, and 15 minus the answer gives you 1. So all of these are connected together. I'll give you an overview of each one. But yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's a fun little circuit. And that's about as big as just regular circuits go before we start getting into devices. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and we'll pick up on devices and a little bit of memory. I'll see you next video. Thank you.